Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Laura Ferreira here with Compass Home Group, and I am shouting out to another locally owned business right here in the heart of downtown Bel Air. Caprichos Books is here in the Bel Air Armory Marketplace. Come on inside and let's talk to Liz and find out about Capricho Books. Hi everybody, here we are inside of Capricho Books with Liz Decker. Liz, thanks so much for having us today.
Hello.
Thanks for letting us come in and look around. So tell us a little about Capricho Books. How long have you been here?
Sure. We've been here in the Armory Marketplace for about a year. We opened last August, and yeah.
So what's the name? Where did this come from, Capricho?
So it is, Caprichos is an island in one of my favorite books by Ellen Raskin. It's called Figs and Phantoms, and it's this idea of heaven that's an island that could be whatever you want it to be. And I feel like a bookstore is the perfect example of that. A lot of people come in and they say, oh, I would love to work in a bookstore. It's my dream. So trying to make that dream a reality for me anyway.
So was this a dream for you to own and work in a bookstore?
It's funny, I've thought a lot about that because everybody asks me that. And I never really had a fixed dream per se that that would be a bookstore. I love recycling. I love the idea of sustainability. That's always been a big thing for me. And I love people finding joy and the anything from I'm blanking on the word nostalgia. People who are nostalgic about things. That's hence why we named it after one of my favorite childhood books. But a bookstore is an easy way for that. I'm also an art history major because I don't think I'm necessarily that great at art, but I want to support artists. That includes literary artists, so I'm able to have a place that not only am I recycling, but I'm giving people that excitement when they find a book that has either given them joy or sadness or any of that, because that's a big part of art to me, is experiencing all those emotions. And then of course I can also have different kinds of art around the store.
Yeah, that's great. I see there's a lot of different things here, different pieces of art and all sorts of ads and things like that to promote that, pamphlets and things.
Yeah.
So you have used books here because you said you're recycling, so people can donate. Is that true?
Yes. So we have a program. Basically, I'm going to step back just a minute and talk about the space that we're in. I promise it connects. So we're in an incubator space right now.
Okay.
All of these spaces behind the Armory are part of an incubator program. So what that means is that we have 3 years to get our start here, figure out what's working, and then ideally grow and fill downtown Bel Air with all kinds of businesses that are very diverse and that support the community. And that's one reason that I'm so adamant about everything I do, connecting so much and staying as local as possible. But now I did forget where I was going. But so with the donations, all of my donations, part of that incubator program is learning. So we've changed our program a little bit. This past April, we switched to a donation-only program. So basically, we are not a nonprofit, so we can't give tax receipts or anything like that. But we can, we take all books, and we take pretty much everything that's paper. So we take books, maps, newspapers, sheet music, magazines, and greeting cards now. And we have different ways that we recycle them. So they go to artists to create some of the art that you see here. They go to schools that might need either material for their classrooms or even therapy groups that need to cut stuff up and do collages, so you don't feel bad when that encyclopedia gets chalked up. They're not using a new set or anything like that. And then for your donation, you save 20% on used books and 10% on new for a year. Nice. So that's what you're getting in return for choosing to go here versus anywhere else. So again, we can't give you a tax receipt, but we can give you a donation, a discount on the books that you do buy from here.
So someone could come in and look for, a gem, a used book, find them in your stacks, or there's some new books that you stock.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started as used only, but rapidly found that book clubs, a lot of book clubs around here, there's so many of them, really want new books. So we started carrying new books. We're working with more manufacturers, printers and things like that. publishers to get. It's also a good way for us to support local artists, local authors, I mean, so they can come in and do signings and stuff like that.
So speaking of, you do events like that, signings and book clubs. What sort of things do you hold here?
Yeah, so yesterday, for example, we had an author come in. It was an adult author who, adult sci-fi. I'm working on doing more story times. We come and go. It kind of depends on the season. Like the summer, I didn't do many
for children.
Events.
Story time for
children? Yes,
or
story time for children. That's true too. And then we have quite a few different book clubs. I'm always open to hosting book clubs. Like if somebody else has an idea, I can only read so much, so it's hard for me to like lead that many. We have a true crime book club that I do run. I partner with Alecraft because again, for me, it's a lot about community. So most of my book clubs actually are somewhere else. They're not all here. So we have a true crime book club that we meet at Alecraft down the street. And then we just started a cookbook book club. So you buy the cookbook here, you make the dish, and then we have a potluck get together, and we talk about, and it doesn't even matter if people make the same thing, but we talk about the different ingredients. It's not even that big of a discussion. We mostly just enjoy the food. Exactly. So, and it's really easy, and that's over at Newberry Cafe. Yeah, me too. Definitely one of my favorites. So we go there, and it's great. And the second part of that is that one of the reasons we go there is because we're an incubator, we don't have water in our space, so we don't serve food or anything like that. That's why we don't have coffee here. A lot of people ask. But they already have the plates and the utensils and everything. So we don't use paper plates or anything that is not sustainable, essentially. So it all just gets washed and reused. So
where would we find out about these events? Like your children's events or the book clubs? Are they on a website or?
Yeah, it's all on our website. That's www.caprichosbooks.com. And then I'm also pretty good at Facebook and Instagram. I like to post a lot. Anytime I get anything, I'm like, here, I gotta share this with everybody. I do live sometimes to talk about all that as well.
Okay, so that's where we could tune in and find out, plan.
Absolutely.
Especially those kids events. I'd love to hear about those. Are those like mostly on the weekends or?
I try to do the kids events either in the evening, of course, unless we do something that's a little more geared toward preschool, then that's during the day when they either have a half day or when it is like a school day out or something like that. So we have another outlet for moms and dads to come or caregivers to come and bring kids. So again, I'm working on more story times. I don't have anything set right now specifically for them, but this weekend we do have an event, Fall in Love with Art, and that is put on by the Hartford Artist Gallery.
Nice.
And so that's going to be geared, it's specifically for families. Okay. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
So I am like, from the corner of my eye, I've been seeing this chair. Can you tell me about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So this chair is a one-of-a-kind art piece. It is made by an artist from St. Mary's County. I'm trying to remember her name, Katya Messinger. And I hope I pronounced that right. I have like a little sign next to it that tells about her Instagram and stuff. So it's a really great art piece that a friend of mine asked if I could hold here. And I love, again, supporting artists. So she was a college student who made this chair, and I really thought it was a great piece. So a lot of kids love climbing into it. I love that it's cozy. The light, I don't always have the lights on. Most of the time they're off. Just because they're battery operated. Okay. So, but I do love the way they change, and it's just so colorful. I love colors, so.
I agree. Well, I absolutely love what you're doing here, supporting, I love books, but even the arts and supporting locally owned and operated and all of that. I think it's wonderful, your mission, your goal. Where do you see Capricho Books going in the future?
So, like I said, because we're an incubator space, we have to move within, we have 2 more years left. Well, I will say we are doing, I think, really well. Great. We're on target to be able to move. We have our eye on some places. Wonderful. The only thing is we need more space. Like I could always, I'm like a fish, like I will fill up whatever space you give me. So the goal is to find a place, like at least another year before we really start looking. And we have learned a lot in our first year. I say we, my husband is really great. He helps me a lot. And even just the community, just in this Armory Marketplace area, I've learned so much from, we have a framer next door, we have a yoga studio, we have the Hartford Artist Gallery, and now we have Reb Records. So the record store actually just opened. The previous tenant was a core boot camp, and they already moved. So this is our first like second generation our second generation of incubator people in here. So again, they moved actually in a year and a half. So I think we're gonna maybe wait a little bit longer than they did, but the idea is that we will find a big space and be perfect.
So, well, thanks again for having us today and telling us your story, and let everybody know, please, where they can find you, because some people don't know that this is back here and there's parking and everything, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we are right behind the Armory. It's very, I think, easy to find when you know it's here. If you turn down Lee Street, like if you pass the Armory when you're heading north on Main Street, you'll turn right onto Lee Street. We're right across from Bel Air Elementary. I feel like a lot of people will recognize that as a school as well. So it's called the Armory Marketplace when you look us up. You can also, if you're walking down Main Street, and we have a sign out on Main Street right before the Armory, you'll just turn right and walk through the park. It's got a red path, so it's like the red brick path back here. You can also find all of our arts and links and events and everything like that on our website. That's www.caprichosbooks.com. Our Facebook page, Caprichos Books. Our Instagram, I'm not good at Twitter. You can go there, but it's mostly just everything that you found everywhere else. So, yeah.
All right. Well, great. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Come on down to Caprichos Books.